Leyonhjelm. David, thank you so much for your time. Why did you invite Milo to Canberra?
Oh, well, he tends to offend the same sorts of people who try to who take offence at the sort of things I say. So I figured that he must be on pretty good ground. He describes himself as a libertarian and conservative. That's sort of, an area that I find a lot of common ground with. So, I'm very much in favour of giving people who are, others are trying to howl down and shut them down. I'm all in favour of giving them an opportunity to say their piece.
Spot on. What did you make of his message today?
Well, I had an opportunity to meet him as an individual, and he's actually a very nice guy. He's very polite and considerate, and we get on very well. Politically, he is, somewhere between conservative and libertarian. He says that himself. I don't think he's as free market and in supportive of, free market capitalism as I am, and I think he's probably a little more socially conservative than I am. As you know, I'm a libertarian, and my view is the government should get out of our lives unless it is to help, unless it is to stop us from hurting others. And so Milo was asked, for example, about Twitter, and Twitter is a private company, and his view is that Twitter is so big it needs to be regulated. Now, I'd have a problem with that. But, if they all agreed with, if he agreed with me on everything, it'd be a bit boring. So I don't mind a little bit of area where we don't agree.
So you didn't come out of the meeting like, you were suddenly a Nazi and you wanted to storm Poland, or you wanted to, I don't know, hate Jews or something like that? Nothing like that?
I don't actually know where all this extreme right stuff comes from. I mean, Milo is Jewish, or partly Jewish, I understand, and certainly his mother is, and that's significant to the Jewish faith. He's married to a black man, so how can he be a racist? In fact, the extreme right, the Nazis, who are really more socialist than anything, they hate him. They absolutely despise him. He's a very reasonable, rational kind of a guy. I don't agree with him on everything, but as I said, it would be really boring if I did.
Were there many Liberals there?
There was a Liberal Party room meeting on at the same time as Milo was speaking, so most of them were in that. But and I confess I didn't scour the room to see. There were quite a lot of Liberal staffers. We had an RSVP list, and lots and lots of Liberal staffers were there. As you said in your introduction, George Christensen was there, and there were one or two others from the House. The only senators that I noticed were the One Nation senators.
The Greens staffers heckling him at the event, what did that tell you?
Yeah, I anticipated that would be the case. I really thought they wouldn't be so lacking in class. I really thought that they would be able to hold themselves back, but they can't do it. They just don't believe anybody else is entitled to another point of view from their own. And rather than just disagree with people, they want to hurl abuse and shut them down. It really is dreadful intolerance. You can imagine if on the other side of politics, people were saying they shouldn't say what they say, and to shut them down, they would be outraged, and yet, they're too stupid to get the idea that you don't shut people down if you don't, just because you disagree with them. What you do is disagree with them. You argue against them.
Now, I've seen the media coverage, particularly in Fairfax and The Guardian, of your event. Seems very hostile. Do what they describe match what you actually heard? Well,
Milo loves to wind up the media. I didn't realise quite as much. So as soon as the Fairfax journalists asked him questions, Milo decided to give them a bit of a wind-up. Now, he was quite civil about it, he was quite polite about it, but he really did zero in on them. And so I suppose it's not a surprise that, considering most Fairfax journalists can't keep their own feelings out of their journalism and just report what happened, then I suppose I shouldn't be at all surprised. But he really was quite civil. I didn't think anybody in the room, other than those particular individuals, would have felt that he was saying anything particularly bad. He was, I think, going after them on identity politics and disagreeing with them. You know, it was disagreement essentially, nothing more than that. He wasn't calling them rude names or discussing their heritage or any of that sort of stuff.
No, I thought the journalists went there to smash him, not to report him. Seemed quite clear to me. David Leyonhjelm, congratulations on you having the integrity to open Parliament House to debate, and you know, strength to you.
Thank you very much, Andrew.